Hello and a warm welcome to all of you to this session on saying it right and how validation builds trust in homes and in the classroom. Uh, Thank you for joining this session. My name is Dia Basu. I'm going to be your facilitator for this evening for this session. Nice to have all of you. All of you may know that Maharashtra Dyslexia Association has been celebrating the World Dyslexia Awareness Month. This is the last day of October, and this is our last session. So happy to have all of you with us. And I'm sure we will have an interactive and an enriching session. Interaction, I would try to keep it as interactive as possible because we have time constraints. Probably I will not be able to interact with everybody, but there are going to be polls, and you can, of course, participate by writing your comments in the chat box. So hello Hina, hello Subra, Jagruti, everybody. If you want, you can keep your videos on. That really helps me facilitate better, but keep yourselves on mute. So let's begin. So in the beginning, let me state our topics and agenda. So in the beginning, I'm going to talk about what is validation and what are the different aspects of validation. How do we validate? We will be exploring certain validation strategies, and we will be exploring certain scenarios at home and in the school. And in the end, there will be a couple of case scenarios, one in the classroom and one at home. And this will be for your practice. And there we will be having some discussions. So you will be requested to write in the chat box about how you will be validating your child or your student in that particular situation. So right at the beginning of the session, I would like to start with this question, which is a key word for this session, right? Validation. So what is validation? You can see there are 4 words on the screen. One is approval. Is validation approval? Does validation mean praise? Does it mean agreeing with somebody? Or does it mean accepting someone? So Aishwarya is helping me conduct this session. Aishwarya, can we have the poll? Yes, we have the poll in front of us on your screens. I would request all of you to please participate by taking this poll. Okay, I have already got one response. Okay, all right. We will keep it for a minute, Aishwarya, so that everybody gets a fair chance to respond. Okay, we have got 10 responses. We will keep this poll on for a few seconds more, 15 seconds more. Please take the poll, everybody. Five more seconds. And then Aishwarya, kindly share the results. All right. So on your screen, you can see that most of you have selected all of the above, which means it is approval, praise, agreement, and acceptance all together. The second highest response has gone to approval, and the third highest has gone to acceptance. So I would like to say over here that Aishwarya, we can stop sharing the results. Validation does not mean approval or praise or agreement. It means to accept someone. Now I'll tell you how. Approval is based on what other people think of you, right? So when you are seeking approval, it would mean that you are asking for somebody else's opinion about yourself, whether they like it or they don't like it. You may disapprove of something, but yet you can validate some person's emotion. So validation is about recognizing and accepting somebody's feelings or emotions as being valid and legitimate and understandable. It does not mean that we have to agree with that. For example, I may have submitted a project in college. Okay, and I'm expecting, I have really worked hard, and I'm expecting that my project should get the top score, but I don't get it. So I get really upset. Okay, so you could be a person I approach and I say that, see, my project didn't get the top score, and I'm really, really upset. Agreement would be like, yes, you are right. You deserve the top score. Your project was the best. Now, do I know this? I don't know whether that was the best or not, but this is not a helpful response. Validation would say that you had worked really hard and I understand where you are coming from and why you are feeling so disappointed. That is validation. Validation does not mean saying, yes, your project was the best and you should have got the top score. Validation also does not mean saying yes to everything that the other person is telling you. And it does not mean praise. Praise usually is to do with a particular behavior or a deed. So if you have done something well, I praise it because I'm liking it. Validation is about the other person's emotions, the person who is going through the situation, and not the third person who is giving their opinion about that. So keep this in mind because most of you have selected everything. Validation has nothing to do with approval, praise, or agreement. I may disagree with you, but I may yet validate your emotions. I don't have to agree with you to validate you. Okay. So moving on, this is one slide. I'll just speak about this in brief. So, like I already said, the chief aspect of validation is that it accepts and recognizes uh, the person's feelings and emotions as valid, legitimate, and understandable. It makes the other person feel heard and understood. And when somebody feels heard and understood, they start trusting you because they feel that, okay, where I'm coming from, that person is getting me. Okay. So, some of the common phrases that we can use while validating somebody is that I really understand where you are coming from. It really makes sense that you feel so upset. Okay, I understand this was really tough for you. So there is no set of phrases, but these kind of phrases are typically used when you are validating somebody's emotions or feelings. The purpose is to connect with that person's feelings and emotions and not to agree with it or approve of it or to praise it. Okay, because sometimes when you approve of a particular or if you are agreeing with the person, you are creating more problems for that person. So, for example, if I'm really feeling bad that my project didn't get accepted, if you agree that yes, they were really hard on you and you are the victim, your project should have been chosen, then that would make me feel a victim and that victimization would set in and bitterness will come in. It will not help me cope with that situation. Okay. So if I feel understood, I will trust you. I will feel emotionally safe and it will encourage me to communicate more openly. So this is all about validation. Now, what validation is not, this is also something that I have already spoken about. It is not about agreeing with the person. You know this. It's not about giving advice. A lot of times we confuse validation with giving advice. Oh, you are feeling upset, you do X, Y, Z, and you will feel better. I'm sharing my opinions and I'm talking from my experience. What about the person who is feeling bad? What works for me may not work for you. I have to understand this. Usually, we end up giving advice because a lot of times the advice given is well meant. But inadvertently, what we end up doing is we invalidate the person's feelings and emotions. They feel like, oh, I didn't know, well enough to react properly in that situation. I need somebody else's advice to uh, work through a particular problem scenario. It's not about pity or sympathy either. It's not about telling someone, oh, poor you, that was really, hard on you. How will you get over this? I really, feel for you. It's not these kind of statements. It's not about minimizing feelings. A lot of times, we have this typical thing of saying that the world has bigger problems than what you are going through. We end up saying these things, right? There are bigger problems in the world. Yours is nothing in front of that. Okay, you have so many things to be thankful about. Why are you worrying about this small thing? I don't know what is small for that other person. I have no idea about what is small and what is big for the other person. I cannot judge that. So it's not about judging and labeling either. You are being too hard on yourself. You are being oversensitive. You are overreacting. So these are judgmental labels. This is not validating. And this invalidates the person. They start questioning themselves. So, am I not right? in the way I'm feeling? Do I have to feel in a certain way to be accepted? And then excusing inappropriate behavior. So if you accept and approve of everything that the person is doing, that doesn't help either. So if I'm very angry, so for example, two children are having a fight in the classroom and one pushes the other, and you as the teacher or the parent, you are saying, oh, well done, that other boy deserved it. That's not validation. Okay, so that is, you are excusing inappropriate behavior. So the crux of it all is that validation makes somebody feel understood. So a statement like this would be validating. I can understand why you would feel this way, or your feelings make sense. Invalidation would be, there is no need to feel this way, or you are being too sensitive, or you are overreacting. And because I spoke about this one, like, you cannot excuse inappropriate behavior, how much ever, it could feel that, somebody was getting bullied for a long period of time in the school or in the class. And one fine day they lost their cool and they hit someone. So you acknowledge the feeling that yes, it was a pent up emotion inside you for such a long time. You were so frustrated, but you cannot excuse that behavior of hitting someone. Okay, so you can validate emotions without agreeing with the opinion or the behavior. So you can separate the behavior from the emotion. That is crucial when it comes to validation. Okay, so for example, I've put an example here on the screen. A 9-year-old student throws a pencil and shouts, this worksheet is stupid, I hate doing this. Okay. Now, could you write in the chat box, what is the emotion that the student is going through? Please, everybody participate. There's no poll here, but I would just like to see whether you are able to identify the emotion over here. Okay, let me see. Kanika, fantastic. Frustration. All right. Any other emotion? Any from anyone else? Anger. Okay, Ghazala, Chinmay, Krishna, anger. Thank you so much for participating. Yes, frustration and anger. Okay, so the emotion is frustration and anger. So the worksheet is thrown. So how do you validate? Thank you for the other responses which are coming in. Irritated, annoyed, aggression, anger. Yes, fantastic. Beautiful. So you over here, how will you validate? You can say that I can see you are really frustrated. So you are identifying the emotion because the work feels hard right now. And it's okay to feel angry. You are not invalidating the emotion. It's okay. But it's not okay to throw things. You have to also state that. Okay. It's okay to feel angry, but don't break things, don't hit someone, don't throw stuff around. Let's take a break. The best thing over here, because one of the strategies for validation is offering help. When we go through the different strategies, we will see that you can suggest over here to the student or your child that let's take a break and try again together. So give a time break, time out to the student, so that then they get to distance themselves from that intense situation and then come back to the work. So these are some of the crucial aspects of validation. So far we have understood what is validation. Now you have no confusion. It is not about agreeing with someone. It's not approval. It's not praise at all. These are completely different things from validation. Okay. Now we will look at some of the few strategies which we can use to validate emotions. Now there are many, but today I'm going to talk about 3 strategies that you can start applying right away in the school or at home, okay, with your student or your children. So the first one is called reflective listening. We will talk about each of these. The second is empathizing. Empathy, I think most of us know what it is. And the third is offering practical help. Okay? So let's start with the first one, reflective listening. Okay? So in reflective listening, there are 2 words. One is reflective, the second is listening. Listening, we all know. What is reflection? Can someone tell me in the chat box? What does reflection mean? It does resisting. Yeah, thank you for all your responses. Good participation. Reflective means what? What does this even mean? Another word for reflection, a synonym, visualizing. Vikram Dalal, interesting. Visualizing. Okay. response, introspect. But you are the one who is validating. Do you nice. Pratima Bhandarkar. Paraphrasing. Excellent. Any other word? Fantastic. Paraphrasing. Summarize. Yes. Sugra. Yes. Summarizing, paraphrasing. Very good. Any other word? Fantastic. Good ones. Rhythm, Shubhramil. Okay, rhythm, interesting. You have to elaborate on that one. What do you mean by rhythm over here? Okay, so have you heard of the word mirroring, like becoming a mirror for that person? Like that, when we are really angry and frustrated, we cannot understand what we are going through. When somebody else in front of me tells me, this is what is happening with you, am I right? Is this what you are going through? I see myself in that other person and I understand, okay, yeah, this is what is happening. It's like mirroring a person's feelings and emotions. It is often used in therapeutic situations as well. Okay, so reflective listening means, and very rightly said by a couple of you, paraphrasing, summarizing, these are required in reflective listening. You pay attention, first of all. If you have to reflect after listening, you have to pay attention, right? For example, if my child comes and tells me about a problem and I'm scrolling on the phone, will I be able to listen and then reflect? No. And that also, the body language really matters over here. Immediately, that entire, my demeanor would be off-putting for the other person. They'll understand that I'm not interested and I don't care. Okay, so you have to pay attention, restate, which is another word for paraphrasing, and reflect, mirror what the speaker is saying. Okay, so what will reflective listening sound like? I have given a few examples over here. Active attention, I've already spoken about this. You give your full focus. So you maintain eye contact, you nod in crucial moments, you do not interrupt when the person is sharing their angst with you. Okay, you do not interrupt. So if you're trying to reflect content, like what the person has said, it could sound something like this. What I'm hearing is that you felt left out when your friends didn't call you. Now, there could be a situation where I wasn't invited to a party, let's say, and I'm going to my parent and I'm saying, what do they think of themselves, my friends? Okay, I'm never going to talk to them. Uh, those stupid people, I'm never going to take up their calls again. I'm not going to talk to them ever again. So this is what I say. This is what I'm communicating. You have to listen beyond the words which are spoken. Okay, so I'm saying all of these things, and now you will have to pause and you will have to think, like, what is this child or this student going through? This student is basically feeling left out, that they were not invited to that particular party. So you are listening beyond the words which are spoken. You are paraphrasing the content and you are giving it back. Okay, and then you are also elaborating on the feeling. It sounds like that really hurt your feelings. You are really upset about that. Okay, and you then check whether you have got it correctly or not. Okay, the third level in reflective listening is that checking for accuracy gently. Did I get that right? Tell me if I'm understanding this correctly. Is this what you are going through? Okay, so reflective listening sounds like, what I'm hearing is you are worried about what the other children will say. This is in a different context. It will not sound something like this. Please don't cry. It does not matter what others think of you. These are things which we often end up, telling, which we end up telling students and children in a, our intentions are good. We mean well, but sometimes inadvertently, like I said, it invalidates their emotions. So you are not mirroring what they are saying. You are giving your own opinion. You are asking them not to cry, which means that immediately they know that it's not okay to feel sad in that situation. Okay, it's not okay to cry. It means my emotion is not valid. It's not okay to feel sad. It does not matter what others think of you. That could be my opinion, but I am not in that position. It matters to that student. It definitely matters what the classmates, think of him or her. So I'm not putting myself in that person's position or in that person's shoes and making a comment over here. Okay? So this is reflective listening. Now, what we will do is we will practice reflective listening. Okay, through a short activity. So here is a scenario on your screen. Your child is sad and says, the children laughed at me when I answered a question wrongly in class. Okay, something happened in school. You answered a question wrongly and the child got laughed at by the others. Now I have given you 3 responses. Aishwarya will put up a poll on your screen. I will be reading out the 3 scenarios. Choose the one which you think is the best example of reflective listening. Aishwarya, can we have the poll? A is don't cry. Kids can really be mean. Everyone makes mistakes, not just you. B is it seems like you feel sad and embarrassed that the other kids were not being kind today at school. C, maybe we need to spend some more time on your homework so that it does not happen again. We will keep it for a minute, the poll, so that everybody gets a fair chance to respond. Okay, 30 seconds more. 25 actually. Okay, we have 20 responses out of 42. Check where the poll is coming. Check on your mobile. Sometimes it may not come directly on the screen. You may have to search for it. All right, can we share the results, Aishwarya? Okay, so glad to see that most of you have got it right. So B is the one where the emotion is getting reflected, right? You are acknowledging that the child is feeling sad and embarrassed, and you are also paraphrasing the situation very nicely that the other kids were not kind to this child, to your child in school today. So here, reflection is happening. Okay, you are reflecting, you are mirroring the child's emotions. Again, when you say don't cry, it again means that it's not okay to feel sad in that particular situation. This is not something that we would like to say to children. And in the third one, maybe we need to spend some more time on your homework so that it does not happen again. It's like almost blaming the child for not doing the homework properly. So the child will start questioning himself or herself that maybe I should have done a better job so that I don't get laughed at again. So that is again something that we don't want to do. So this is reflective listening, part one. Okay. Now we will move on to the second strategy of validation. This is called empathizing. Now, what is empathy? Can somebody please write in the chat box? I think we all know about this, but still, it's nice to hear from everyone and everybody's opinions. I've put up something on the screen, but you could have your own ideas. Please share that. I knew the shoes comment is going to come. This is the most commonly common response. Kanika, yes, being in the child's shoes. Absolutely. Being in the other person's situation, Prajakta, yes. Shabnam, to understand the other person's emotions, yes. Stepping into Anjum, into the other person's shoes, yes. So, which basically means that you are not thinking about what you are not thinking about your opinions, ability to understand and share. Absolutely, Shubdhani, fantastic. Understanding emotions, Jagruti, understanding the other, yes. So, I'm putting myself in the other person's situation. And if I have to understand their emotions really well, then I will have to do it from their perspective. I cannot put my perspective in this. Okay. So again, when I was talking about approval and agreement, it talks about what I believe in or what I approve or what I agree with. It does not talk about the person who is going through the situation. So again, I have to think about the other person and their perspective. So uh, when I'm empathizing, uh, I could use sentences like, it sounds like you are frustrated that no one listened to your idea. So again, I'm mirroring and I'm focusing on the emotion that the person may have felt. Okay. seeing the situation from their viewpoint, I can understand why that would feel unfair after all your effort. So here you are acknowledging the effort that the person has put and why such a situation would feel unfair. Okay, because you are also putting yourself in that person's situation. Like if you had put so much effort, how would you have felt? So from there you can give this response. And communicating understanding. So oftentimes when we are empathizing, we use the I statement. So if that happened to me, I would also feel in so and so manner. So because I'm putting myself in the other person's shoes, like rightly said by so many uh, of you, I will be using the I statement. If this happened with me, I would probably have reacted in the same way. Okay, and this is very validating for the other person. So they feel that, okay, I wasn't wrong in feeling in this certain manner because I did put a lot of effort, and this is how I'm feeling about it. Okay, so when you are empathizing with someone, uh, it could sound like if someone had said that to me, I would feel angry and really sad too, like I already said. Empathizing is not, it's okay. I understand that you are hurt, but this will all get over soon. So again, we use these phrases a lot of times. We tell people that time changes for everyone. You are going through a bad phase. That's okay. Don't worry. Good days will come. We say no to other people, trying to cheer them up, but that is not empathizing. It doesn't work also. They don't cheer up actually. They keep worrying and worrying because they are not able to see how you are seeing things. You are not going through the situation, so things are good for you. You are feeling very positive, and from your positivity, you are saying that things will get better. Don't worry. That's your positivity. But the other person is not in that space. They're in a different space. They are not able to connect with your positivity at that time. Okay, they are in a dark space. So there you have to acknowledge the feeling and say that if something like this would have happened to me, I would also have gone through the same thing. So I understand what you are going through. That is far more powerful than saying this will all blow over soon. Okay, so now that we have discussed empathizing as the second strategy, let's practice it. So here is another scenario in the classroom. Your student is crying and says, a classmate called my drawing ugly and bad. So what is the best example of empathizing over here? So again, you have A, B, and C. Yes, thank you, Aishwarya, for putting up the poll. So the poll is here on the screen. A is, your art is great. Who cares what the classmate had to say about? Just believe in yourself. B is, everybody has different taste and is allowed to have their own opinions. You just keep doing your best, okay? And the third one is, I have to remove this window. You are proud of your art, so of course this hurts your feelings. It would have hurt my feelings too. We'll keep the poll on for a few more seconds, Aishwarya, till a minute. Thank you for all the responses on empathy, which are in the chat. Okay, so we will share the results with everybody. All right. So most of you, I can see 67% of you have selected C correctly. And can somebody unmute and tell me why is C better than B? Because B is also quite a valid response, isn't it? Everybody is allowed to have a different taste and opinion. And we cannot expect everybody to agree with, my opinion. So, okay. Or why is A not a good idea? Believe in yourself is a good statement. So why C? Okay. Prajakta is saying addressing the emotion of the child. Very good. And over here, what is the emotion? What hurt? What hurt the child over here? The child was obviously, happy with the drawing, right? They were not expecting the drawing to be called ugly and bad. C is Chinmay Krishna is saying, C is encouraging internal validation rather than external validation. Very good. I haven't spoken about this yet, but validation is internal and external. External validation in the earlier years leads to internal validation in the later years. Remember that. So it's very important for children to have that external validation initially in the earlier years. Shubhana is saying it hurt the child's feelings, so it should be addressed. Yes, yes, yes. And you are adding that layer to it that it would have hurt my feelings too. So that adds to that layer of understanding that it has hurt your pride. So you have correctly identified the emotion and you are speaking about it, that it has hurt the child's pride and it would have hurt my feelings too. Your art is great is a positive statement. It's encouraging, but it does not address the emotion. Everybody has different taste and is allowed to have their own opinion. Keep doing your best again does not address the emotional part over here. Okay, so great. So that's about empathizing. We will move on to the third aspect of validation, which is offering help. Now, there is a difference between offering help and offering a solution. Can you write in the chat box about what do you think is the difference between offering help and offering a solution? If somebody wishes, they can also unmute themselves and speak about it. Or you could use the chat box. Offering help versus offering a solution. Think about it. Anyone? Okay, I have got one response. Vikram Dalal, teaching how to catch fish. This is interesting. Could you unmute and talk about this? Teaching how to catch fish.
Yes, so basically giving a solution that what can work rather than giving him a ready-made answer.
Yes.
So that next time onwards, the child is more prepared to face the situation.
Absolutely. So you are developing problem solving skills in the child by offering help, when we do the work for the child, or we are offering a ready-made solution, offering in a platter, it's not encouraging the child to think for themselves and become resilient or develop problem solving skills. So offering help, yes. So we have a response from Smriti, who is saying offering help will make the child it's the other way around, Smriti. Offering help will not make the child dependent. Offering solutions, it's like you are solving the problem for the child. You are not allowing the child to think. When you're offering help, it is not about giving a direct answer. It's about indirectly helping the child to think. Yes, Aarti, I'll come to you. And Pete is saying help removes agency solutioning. Okay. Can you talk about this? Because help offers, yes. So a solution is basically like you have thought it out for the child and you are saying that this is the solution for your problem. Okay, help is like you will be solving your problem. I'm beside you. That's what I meant over here. Okay, I'm going to be beside you. I'm offering help so that you are able to reach to the solution. That's what I meant. Okay, so offering help might make them feel low. How is that? Instead of giving away a solution, you cannot give a solution actually to anybody's problem. The solution has to come from that person. We really cannot solve other people's problems, how much ever hard we try. Sorry, Subra, it doesn't work like that. We can offer help, we can guide them indirectly, not directly. We can be present, we can be beside them, we can encourage them, but ultimately developing problem solving skills will only happen if I'm offering help but I'm not directly solving it for you. So when we are offering help, we also have to ask for permission, because a lot of times when we say, do you want me to work with you on this particular thing. The child may say, I don't want your help right now. There could be rejection, and that's okay. You give the child the space that they need. Sometimes they don't want help, or they don't want your solutions also. Like, oh, you do XYZ the next time, and that is going to be okay for you. And they could say that doesn't work for me. That could be working for you, but that is not what works for me. Okay. So offering a solution directly uh, doesn't work, because we don't know what is going to solve the problem for that particular person. It has to come from them. We have to encourage them to arrive at that solution. And that develops thinking skills, critical thinking skills, problem solving skills for the future. Okay. You could suggest something like, when I feel that way, when I feel low, it helps if I do XYZ. Would you like to try that? Okay. You could suggest, you could offer help. I remember another time when you felt like this. What did you do back then to feel better? So you're reminding the child that it's not the first time that you are feeling in a certain way, you are feeling sad. You have felt sad or upset before also. How did you cope at that time? So you are reminding of the child that the child has certain coping skills in their kitty. When the emotions are intense, we tend to forget what skills we already have or how we had coped with a previous situation. We forget about it. It is important to remind them that you have coped with a situation like this before. What did you do? Would you like to try something like that again? So that could be a conversation. I know Aarti had raised her hand. So Aarti, please come in with your comment.
Yes, so I think help is giving multiple options, and solution is it is your view and giving
Yes,
exact thing from your perspective. But
absolutely.
but let the child choose and give multiple option and let the child choose the correct one.
Yes, yes. And the options also don't have to be like a set of like these are the only options. You can have a conversation with the child and come up with, you know, different solutions that could be tried out. That encourages the child to think, because once we start solutioning for them, it does not help with thinking skills, unfortunately. So it could be attractive to solve problems, but we should refrain from doing that. Thank you, Aarti, for that. So offering help sounds like, it seems like you are feeling sad. So again, you are acknowledging the feeling, the emotion. When I feel sad, I like to listen to music. Okay. Would you like to try that? Now, solutioning would have said that, why don't you listen to some music? Music really soothes the soul. Isn't it wonderful to listen to music? Let's listen to music together. And you may feel like, but I don't want to listen to music. That's not a solution for me. It works for you. Okay. It may not work for me. Offering help is not also saying something like, don't be sad, go take some fresh air, you will feel better. So again, this is, go take some fresh air is like a solution you are offering, but we don't want to give a solution, we want to offer help. Help basically means being present with the child and discussing different options, like Aarti said, so that they can find their own solutions. Okay. So we will now practice this. Okay. Practice offering help. So there is this scenario where your child is angry and says, today I will watch TV, I don't want to do homework. Okay, and Aishwarya, can we have the poll again on the screen? What is the best example of offering help over here? A is, being angry does not help. You still need to do your homework. B is, if only you had completed your homework earlier, watching TV would have been okay. C is, I see that you are angry. Homework is not as fun as TV, but we still need to do it. Can I help you with it? Okay. We have 14 responses out of 41. We will keep the poll on for 25 seconds more. Okay. Please take the poll, as many of you. Okay, 5 more seconds, Aishwarya, then we'll end the poll. Okay, share the results, please, for everybody to see. All right. like most of you have chosen C. Uh, 2 of you have chosen A and B. I'll speak about it, like why A and B actually doesn't work in this situation. Can somebody tell me why it is C? Can't see the poll. Okay, Dipali, I don't know what's the issue. Probably Aishwarya, you can chat with her. We don't have any more polls coming up. The polls are over, but probably there was some technical glitch. Okay, so C, can you just write why C is the best response probably over here? It's not the only response. Huh? These are the 3 options that I have given you. From these options, it's the best. Please feel free to share in the chat. I will give you a minute or 2 to think about it and then write. C, yes, Prerna, but why?
Is it okay, Prajakta, here if I say?
Yes, fantastic. Please go ahead.
So, in option C, what I think is you're addressing the emotion of child, which is anger. Also, you're providing help. You're not giving a right out solution to the child, but asking out, do you want any help, or
Yes,
how my presence over here can be helpful to you?
exactly. So you are balancing kindness with rules in the third one.
Yes.
Okay. So you are not
Thank you.
allowing, yeah, thanks a lot. Yes, I have got a response in the chat also. Let me have a look at that. Okay, I'm not able to. Okay, Chinmay Krishna is saying it is validating the child's emotions, exuding empathy, while also offering support. Yes, Prerna, because you're respecting the child's emotions. Aarti, acknowledging the fact that understanding the child and then being with the child to complete the work. Yes. So you're not excusing the child from the work over here. Note. Okay, you're not saying that it's okay to watch TV for one day. I really understand. So you could have understood the emotion and given into the child's wishes, but that's not happening over here. So there's a nice balancing act that is happening in option C. You are saying that homework still needs to be done, but you are acknowledging the fact that it's not as fun as watching TV. That's important because that is what the child is feeling, right? If I would have said that homework is more important than TV, it's important for your future, that doesn't resonate with the child's emotions. Okay? Because the child is not feeling that. Okay, and you are also acknowledging the anger that the child is facing. Okay. Shubhranil, because it understands the child's feelings, offers support instead of criticism or blame. Beautifully summarized. Thank you so much, Shubhranil. And being angry does not help. What is the problem with this kind of statements? A lot of times we do use these kind of statements. This kind of emotion is not going to help you. It almost means that you are telling the child that they are using the emotion as a tool for their benefit. It's not genuine. It's like fabricated, right? You are using the emotion for your benefit. Pete, don't do the work, help the child to. Yes, Pete, absolutely, you got it. You don't do the work, you help the child to know how to do the work. Fantastic. And your presence sometimes matters. You don't just be present with the child. Your presence makes a lot of difference. Being there, okay? And the second one, if only you had completed your homework earlier. Now, this is a good solution, but you're jumping to the solution, you are not acknowledging the emotions over here. Yes, indeed. If the child had completed the homework before, watching TV would have been okay. But here the emotion is not acknowledged. You are just jumping to the solution. How is that helping? Okay, so that's not helpful. So these are the 3 aspects of validation that we have discussed. Reflective listening, second is empathizing, and third is offering help. Now we are going to work on 2 case scenarios. Prerna, when you are along with the child to make his studies with fun, children get happy and also makes the task easier. Yes, presence matters. It's not like you are doing the work, but you are being there for the child. And the child knows that, okay, it's not fun, but at least my parent knows that it's not fun and they are still with me. Okay, it makes the task easier, okay, less dreadful. Thank you. So now we have this case scenario. There are no polls, but I would probably ask you to unmute and tell me sentences that would be validating for this particular child. So Ria is 8 years and she's saying tearfully, I don't want to go to school today. Everyone laughs at me when I read. I hate school. So how will you validate Ria's emotions? In one sentence, okay? I will give you a couple of minutes to think about it. And then respond. So there are 3 sections. First is you are listening and reflecting. So what sentence will you use with Ria so that she feels that you have actually heard her and you are mirroring her feelings? Second is, how will you use a sentence to empathize with her? And third is, how are you going to offer help? What kind of sentences can we use with Ria? What are we going to say to her? I'll give you some time to think and then feel free to unmute or write in the chat. Remember all the previous exercises that we have done so far, the examples that I have shared. From that understanding, construct your sentences. Okay, don't make any mark on the screen, please. Have you thought about it? Shall I come to one of you? Prerna, would you like to take this up? Okay, let me have, okay, I'll come to, okay, nice. Oh, okay, so Prerna, you have already put up your responses. Why don't you take us through your responses, Prerna? You have written quite a bit. It would be nice if you can explain your response. Okay, Vikram. Okay, Vikram, but what is the feeling? You haven't spoken about the feeling. You have to mirror, right? Okay, Prerna, my problem, not a problem, not an issue. Vikram,
Can I go ahead?
who is that? Please.
Prajakta.
Prajakta, yes. All right.
So given a situation like this, I would rephrase it like listening and reflecting would be, I understand Ria don't want to go to school today as everyone laughs at you, and empathizing would be, if I would have been in your place, even I would hate going school.
Nice.
And
Empathizing is good. Yes.
when offering help, I would ask, how may I help you in this situation? I would, I'm here.
Yes.
And there, so if I can be of your
You
help.
can ask, do you need any help
Yes.
in this situation? What can we do together to make this
Okay.
situation less stressful? You can ask her
Okay.
and have a discussion.
Yes.
Shatrupa Sen. Thank you so much, Prajakta. The listening and the reflecting part, you have to reflect a bit more. I will, okay, Shatrupa is saying, I will listen and reflect the issue and then offer help. Yeah, but what are you going to say exactly? That's what I'm asking. Pete, okay. I hear you, Ria. That sounds fantastic. Fantastic. That sounds stressful and upsetting. So here, she is tearful, right? So she's upset. So that's the emotion. You have to point out the emotion first. All right. Then so that's reflective listening. I felt like that when I was your age, so that's empathizing. Wonderful. I know how you are feeling. uh Probably don't use this sentence because we don't exactly know what the other person is feeling, but the first one is fantastic. I felt like that when I was your age. We need to do something about this. Fantastic. What do you think we can do to stop this happening again without making it worse? Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Very nice. Good response. So everybody else, just take a note of, how Pete has structured his responses. I really loved it. Apart from that one sentence, I know how you are feeling. The others were absolutely, I felt like it was reflective, it empathized, and it offered help. Kinnari, I will listen and reflect. Yes, you will, but I'm asking for exactly what are you going to say. We are going to do a second exercise, so that will help you understand this better. So I have also put up 3 sentences. Now, why is this not coming up? Okay. So again, just like Pete said it, I have also put up one sentence. Like, I can see you're really upset about going to school. It must feel embarrassing when others laugh while you are reading. I felt Pete's is better because he used the I sentence. And the third is, let's think of how we can make reading time easier. Maybe we can practice together or talk to your teacher. So you're, again, like Aarti had said, you're offering some options. Okay. Great. The last exercise for today is this second scenario. Come on, everybody. So Arav is 10 years and he's telling his teacher, I worked so hard and still I got only 4 out of 10. I'm just stupid. So how will you validate Arav's emotion? So again, listen and reflect, empathize, offer help. Take a couple of minutes, frame your responses, write in the chat box or unmute and say. I'll give you a couple of minutes to think about this. Look beyond the words. Okay. I've got a response in the chat. Empathize as in you are, Prerna, it means that you are putting yourself in that person's position or situation and thinking, like, if I got 4 out of 10 after working so hard, how would I feel? Okay, Prerna? All right, great. Take your time. Take your time means take a couple of minutes and then respond. Okay, I've got a response. Jagruti Ahira, I will listen and offer help. But exactly what are you going to say? So the title of this webinar is saying it right. So you have to say it in a way so that it sounds like you have heard the child, you're reflecting, you're mirroring the emotions, you're empathizing and you're offering help. So what are you going to say? Jagruti, think about it. Prerna. Okay, Prerna is talking about the second component, empathizing. I will empathize saying that I understand and know the way you are working really hard. Okay, but empathizing is like you have to connect with the feeling. What is the feeling over here, Prerna? Think more. Child is feeling low. So first you listen and reflect that, then what kind of a sentence can you use to reflect that feeling? What are you going to say to the child? Anybody else? We don't have much time, maybe a minute more to think about this. Pratima. Ah, beautiful. Pratima Bhandarkar. You sound very disappointed, Arav. Fantastic. You mirrored it. Okay, so you are listening beyond the words that Arav is saying. So I worked hard, I got only 4 out of 10. So what does that mean? That means disappointment. He was expecting more, right? Fantastic, Pratima. Loved it. That's reflective listening. Now, Shabnam in Amdar, I can understand what you are feeling right now. Can we really understand what somebody is feeling at that moment? Probably you can contextualize it in a way that you could say something like that if I had worked hard as you did, okay, I would probably be disappointed too. That's empathizing. Okay, that kind of a sentence. Okay, I've got so many responses. Let me go through them. Vikram Dalal is saying, I saw you really worked hard for the test. Very good. So that is validating the effort. Okay, not the result. You are validating the effort. Even I used to get less marks in test. Let us check how we can solve the test better. Probably don't say even I used to get less marks in test. Think about, don't talk about the marks over here. Talk about the feelings and the emotions. Like, I also felt the same when I was young and I got low marks. Talk like that. So you are talking about the feeling part of it. Okay, not about how less you got. And let us check how we can solve the test better. Yes, a good one. Shubhronil, A, you are really disappointed. Okay, you can start like, it sounds like you are really disappointed. And Pete, I'm coming to yours. Very good, Shubhronil. B is, I can understand why you are feeling that way. Anyone would feel sad after working so hard. Very good. Well done. Let's look at what was difficult together and how I can help you next time. Beautiful, Shubhronil. Shubhronil, very nicely done over there. Others, please take a note. Very, very well done. So happy. And Pete, Arav, firstly, I hear what you are saying. Very nice. It is sad that you are worried. You are stupid. You are not. Stupid is a big word, and this was one test. Okay. Fine. You do work so hard. I see it every day. So you're acknowledging effort. That's good, Pete. Acknowledging effort. Can we work through? I love the last part really, Peter. I like the other part too. Can we work through your answers so that I can explain what aspects of the task you answered in the different? Very nice. So now you're offering help. So fantastic. I think Shubhronil and Pete, you're really on point over here. I think you have got it. So, and Chinmay Krishna, let's see. Arav, it may hurt when your effort doesn't turn out. Beautiful. First sentence, beautiful. Chinmay Krishna, thank you so much. It may hurt when your effort doesn't turn out the way you hoped. Beautifully stated. But it doesn't mean you are stupid. It means you are learning, and everyone needs time to practice and eventually get better. We can work together to help you. Yes, nicely done. Okay, so beautiful, fantastic. I have also got some responses over here. So mine, some of you have done much better than what I am going to put out on the screen. You seem really disappointed about your marks, so I'm highlighting the disappointment over here. One of you had done that in the beginning. Empathize, I can understand that you feel sad. And this is exactly what I think Chinmay Krishna just stated. It is tough when hard work does not show in the score. And it is tough indeed. Shall we go over your paper together and see what you did well in and what you can improve next time? Okay, so that's offering help. Fantastic, all of you. Thank you for participating. Before I end this session and probably take a couple of questions, a few things to remember about validation would be that if we validate emotions and feelings correctly, you choosing the right phrases, using the right words at crucial times, children feel heard, and it encourages open communication. They would be coming to you and talking about their emotions because they will not feel judged. That's very important. External validation and internal validation, that point had come up sometime earlier in this discussion. External validation is when what we were just practicing, when we are saying something to validate the child or the student. Internal validation is when you have developed enough coping strategies to do that kind of self-talk and validate your emotions yourself. So if you are feeling really upset, you will be able to introspect and reflect upon it and be able to understand that why am I feeling upset? Because I really worked hard and I didn't get what I wanted. So it's okay to feel this way, but probably I should try something else next time. So that's self-talk, that is internal validation. adults develop these coping strategies as they move on in life. In the earlier years, when for younger children, it's difficult to think like this. That level of maturity comes later on. So external validation is extremely important because it leads to internal validation in the later years. Okay, so using the right phrases and, like I said, saying it right is important. However, when emotions are intense, there could be situations when there is, a child is simply having a meltdown. They are howling, crying, and they're extremely upset. At that time, you just cannot go and start validating and telling them, I can see that you are really upset, and they're howling at the top of their voices. It just doesn't help. So sometimes when emotions are too intense, you just give them space to process that information first. Allow them that time and space to calm down, and then probably have that conversation. Okay. And lastly, just like any other skill, validation is also a skill and it needs practice. In therapy, validation is used a lot when therapeutic conversations happen. Therapists use validation techniques with their clients. It's a skill, it takes time and practice to develop. But I do hope that I was able to give you a glimpse into what validation is and what are some of the useful strategies that you can use to validate your child's emotions or your students' emotions at home and in school. So that's about it from my side. And if there are any questions, I would like to take them. We are at the end of our session. You can write your questions in the chat, or you could unmute and ask. I'm open to both. Okay, I see. Pratima, thanks. Oh, okay. Okay, my name is Dia. I'm often confused, and everybody confuses my name and calls me Divya. I'm soon going to develop an identity crisis, I feel. I'm Dia, but I'm so glad that you enjoyed the webinar, Pratima, and you found the examples relatable. Thank you. That's okay. But I'm going to develop that crisis pretty soon, I think. If there are no questions, shall we call it an evening, call it a night? Any comments, anything? All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being a part of this webinar. Thank you, Chinmaya. Thank you so much for being here. It was lovely discussing, and all of you participated so well. I'm so happy to see your participation. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And I hope we will be doing many such sessions, and I'll get an opportunity to interact with all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Jagruti, I'm Dia. All right, Subra, everybody, thanks. Thanks a lot. Okay, so I'll be ending the session now.